Hi there, welcome to Scott Stuff. It's been about a week or so, but that's because I've been busy working on Board Games with Scott. I've got an episode up there on Cosmic Encounter. So if you want to see that, head over to BoardGamesWithScott.com. And that's going to be pretty typical. If you see me not producing new stuff for this show, it's because I'm over there producing Board Games with Scott. This time I want to talk about a travel destination. A few days ago I went over to Rochester, New York to the Strong Museum of Play, where I met with a number of the staff members there and the folks talking about some future collaborative projects. But I got a couple-hour tour of that museum, and I saw it as a librarian sees the world, and I thought it was really neat the way they did some stuff. So I wanted to talk about it here and open your eyes to what's going on there. First off, I'll say just a general recommendation. If you live within shooting distance of Rochester, then I'd invite you to head over there, especially if you have any kids, to check out this museum. It's one of the largest children's museums in the country. It's 2 stories. It's really gorgeous, really well done, recently refurbished. They've got lots of interactive exhibits and lots of things to do, including an indoor butterfly garden. It was really a fun place, really an exciting place. I enjoyed the visit a lot. What struck me, though, was the library. There's a branch of the local public library within the museum. And so not only is there a desk where you can get a library card, and it looks more like a traditional library service there with reference librarians and things, but as you go throughout the museum, they have little nooks of books. And the books are related to the topic of what you're seeing. So you can go to an exhibit, you're looking at whatever, and then there's some books that you can check out. And I thought this was really clever. I thought it was a really neat way of integrating library and museum together. I've never seen something like this before. So if you like what you're looking at, you can then take a book. And this idea is something that I want librarians to grab onto. With the work I do with games and libraries, one of the things we talk about is having appropriate books and other library materials available during a gaming program. Because what's going on, just like in the museum, you're motivated at that moment on a certain topic. Just like when you're playing a game, you're motivated, you're interested in that topic. And if right there you have a book on that topic that someone can take home with them to learn more, you've created a really neat connection there. And it's looking for those opportunities. So they've done that at this museum. You see there are some areas where there are tables that are sitting out with books on them. You've got bookshelves with lots of books, and people can collect the books as they see the exhibits and then check them out and take them with them. And then they can bring them back as well, which encourages them to come back into the museum because it's a really cool place to be. So what was neat is, for example, take a fantasy exhibit. So they had an area on literature. And I should say throughout the Museum of Play, they had incorporated concepts of literature very well. So you had an area on literature, and within that area there was an area on fantasy. So you had some Harry Potter stuff, and so you had some Lord of the Rings stuff. So in the Lord of the Rings area, there was an activity for the kids to do while they're looking and looking at fantasy literature stuff. So they're doing, making spells and things like that. There were displays of artifacts, and so there was a cabinet with artifacts from J.R.R. Tolkien. Things like a page from his manuscript where he had written and made changes, and a menu from a meal he was sitting at and was bored and was writing out hobbit weights and measures on one side of the menu. So they had artifacts, and that's something that was really neat for the parents, so that it wasn't just activities for the kids, there was something for the parents to do. And then they had shelves in the area with not only the Tolkien books, but related books and books about Tolkien and all of that in one place. And it was really just a cool integration of artifact and experience and literature. They've done it in a way I'd never seen before. And libraries, take note. And those of you out there who are going to become librarians or are interested in becoming librarians, take this inspiration. Whenever you have some way of getting people motivated about stuff, have books available too on the topic, because that cross-promotion can really help people to see, hey, there's some stuff here in the library that interests me, and that's a lot of what we're trying to do. So that's Scott's travel tip, seeing a museum from a librarian's perspective. I actually hope to get a tour together for our library students to head over there and take a look at this and see the special collections. It was pretty cool. Actually, I got to go down in the basement and see the old archives of all the board games from the turn of the century. They had a bunch of old video games and all this stuff, and they're putting together a cool exhibit coming up soon on superheroes. So it was a pretty exciting place. So anyway, that's enough from me this time. I will see you on the next Scott Stuff with some other little tidbit about what's going on in my life. That's all. Take care. Bye.